is no exception.
So Alyssa Caples is a fifth-year electrical engineering student who's set to graduate this semester, and her future plans involve moving to Seattle, Washington to work at Microsoft. And Alyssa joined Engineering Ambassadors in 2021 and served on the special events committee that helped plan this whole event for you guys. And Alyssa is really one of the most genuine people I know, and I can always count on her to make me laugh. And she also gives really good advice. So everyone, please welcome to our stage our 2023 G-Day speaker, Alyssa.
Hello? Okay, glorious. All right, who's excited? Okay, if you were in my panel room, everyone say go Alyssa. All right, you know how you say it. Ready? Go Alyssa. Thank you. I needed that. All right, so hello everyone. My name is Alyssa Caples, and I'm an electrical engineer who is going to graduate this semester. Yay! I hope you all are having a good day. We have worked really hard this year to put on a good G-Day for you, and so I hope you all enjoyed it. So shout out to all the engineering ambassadors back there who helped put on this event. And shout out to Isha and Jonah, who are the chairs of this event. Yay! It definitely would not be possible without you both. So you, my actual G-Day attendees, I want to say congratulations to both of us, as we are both graduating this year. Me from UF, obviously, and you from some random high school. Alternatively, your child is graduating high school. Woo! All in all, these are very important moments of our lives, and we are making important decisions right now, and our lives will look very different in a matter of months. So in the next 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast I speak today, I want to give you some advice for your college years, regardless if you choose UF. But you know, go Gators. But I'm not you, but when I was deciding what school to go to, in the very beginning, I remember being kind of apprehensive about UF. I was like, wow, should I go to this in-state school? I'm not that much of a football fan. I'm only 2 hours from my parents, and I don't get to experience the seasons, except today, apparently. Turns out, football is very fun. Living 2 hours from your parents is actually really nice. Don't tell them though. And having warm winters is just straight up wonderful. I remember when I was leaving for college, I was trying to be really tough. Like, yeah, Mom, I can do laundry. I'm gonna make so many friends. This will just be a bigger high school, and I will conquer this. So, I want you to know, there's a BurgerFi down Archer Road. This was the last meal I ate with my parents before they dropped me off at UF, and I want you to know I bawled my eyes out in that parking lot. I was a huge baby, and there were so many tears. So 5 years later, here I am, not crying. And yes, I am a fifth year. I think I can say you can totally graduate in 4 years. I switched my major 3 times, I added a minor, and I took improv. However, I have never dropped or failed a class, and the engineering ambassadors back there know how awesome that is. I'm very proud of that fact. But right now, I'm only in 1 class, and you can try a little bit harder your last semester, so yes, you can definitely graduate in 4 years. Anyways, 5 years later, after that momentous crying in the BurgerFi parking lot, I've grown up a lot. I have a lot more confidence in myself, I've learned way more skills, and I've moved across the country by myself twice. My biggest advice to all of you, try. Say yes to the things that put you out of your comfort zone and things that challenge you. And when you feel like you've given up all hope or cry in a BurgerFi parking lot, put one foot in front of the other, and try to keep going. I'm going to tell you a little story about my friend. My friend who is now getting her PhD in nuclear engineering at MIT. Oh yeah, she is very cool and very smart, and you should follow her on TikTok. During our freshman year, we were studying for a Calculus 3 exam together, and she had given up studying and was kind of just feeling really overwhelmed about the upcoming exam, and didn't even know where to start some of the problems. I looked at her and I said, try. You can always do more than you think you can. And she told me that this advice has stuck with her, that whenever she has to take exams on literal quantum physics and she feels overwhelmed by being in a new state and a new school, she remembers me looking at her and telling her, try. I'm telling you that because your first year of college is a lot of putting yourself out there. You have to go to new club meetings, social events, office hours, and classes, and everything will be super, super fun. But you also still need to be a person and take care of yourself mentally and physically. It can all get really overwhelming to do all of that for the very first time. So I hope in like 4 months, you will remember me telling you to try. My philosophy in college has always been this. You are building your life while you are building your career. Yes, school and work is very important. You should try to do well in your classes. You should try research. You should try joining design teams. And you should join professional organizations. Internships and co-ops are a valuable part of your college experience and make it easier for you to figure out what kind of job you actually want to do, if any, once you graduate. But I think it can be really easy to be sucked into the idea that in order to be successful, you must have a 4.0, and you must have a research position, and you must join all the design teams, and you must join 6 different professional organizations. And if you don't have 3 internships by the time you graduate, you will never have a job. Everything I just said is not true. Don't do that, just so you know. There is no single way to be successful in life. There is no strict path on what professional or academic things you must absolutely do in order to get the most amazing job or go to the best grad school. All in all, you don't actually need to have the most amazing job or go to the best grad school in order to live a meaningful and fulfilling life that brings you joy. Do not sacrifice your joy in order to land an internship, get a 4.0, or have positions in 6 organizations. It will not be worth it. You must decide what activities are best for you. Because at the same time you are doing all these awesome professional things, you are building your life. Your life does not start when you leave college. It starts now. You build the foundation of your lifelong hobbies and interests while you are here. Your life is the friends you make, the experiences you have, the hobbies you keep, and the lessons you learn to maintain your physical and mental well-being. You learn the things that make you proud of yourself, and the things that just end up being fun stories to tell. Once you try something and you love it, the effort you put into it is what you will get out of it. So while you are here at UF, I recommend appreciating the broad quantity of opportunities we have on campus. We have probably said this so many times today, but there are like 1,000 clubs on campus, and a lot of them put on interesting events designed to be fun and informative, like this one. This is one of the easiest times in your life for you to try something new. So while you are here, I recommend that you try activities and things that are not here to build your resume. In fact, just because they could be fun, they could be enjoyable, and it's a good way to make friends. I also think you should try things because they could be interesting and teach you something that you wouldn't learn in your engineering classes. Again, yes, you should try to do well in school. And you should try engineering clubs and activities, but there's so much more to college than just that. So now I'm going to tell you about the things that have made me the most proud of myself while being at UF. Number 1, last year I was the president of the UF Society of Women Engineers. This was the result of being in this organization for 4 years. I originally joined my freshman fall as a formal chair, and then I held a position in the org every year since. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this organization, and I'm so proud of the work I put into it. Number 2, I was on a rowing team for 4 years. Yes, I was in a boat. I woke up at 5 a.m. every day of freshman year, and it taught me discipline. I learned how to rely and work on a team. It also taught me that the best results come from putting in a little effort every single day and showing up for myself and others. 3rd, I am so proud to almost be in electrical engineering. It's so nice just to almost be done, and I'm just so proud. Engineering is challenging. Ask any of those teal people back there. It is hard, but I am capable of doing hard things, and so are you. I was actually really afraid of joining Engineering Ambassadors my 4th year because I was scared. I felt kind of old, like I joined as a 4th year, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But I did it, and it was so worthwhile. I felt silly, but I made so many awesome friends this year, and I'm so grateful I did it. And it also reminded me that I can try something new at any point. I'm proud of myself for getting a computer science minor after crying in the bathroom after my midterm exam and my first programming class. I told myself I would never let a raise make me feel like that again. Thank you for all who laughed and got that joke, but I finished the minor. I'm proud of myself for moving across the country twice. I had 2 internships that took me out to Denver and another one that took me to Seattle. It was scary going somewhere new without friends, family, or a Publix, but I did it, and I know I can do it again. I'm really proud of myself for discovering my love of camping and hiking. You can see there's lots of outdoorsy pictures up there. My freshman year, I went backpacking with a group of strangers at UF through a club on Veterans Day weekend. I had never gone backpacking, hiking, or even camping before. It was one of the most impactful experiences of my life. Later that year, I went on an 11-day road trip to the Grand Canyon with 8 strangers. It taught me that the best way for me to relax is to go outside. So the photo of me on the far left of my first year is after I went down and up in the Grand Canyon in one day. They recommend you don't do that because it's hard. I'm proud of myself for doing 2 triathlons. One with absolutely no training, and I needed a lifeguard to rescue me. I'm also proud that I did one after 6 months of training. I'm proud of one, I just went out and did it. Don't recommend doing that, but you can do that. And I'm also proud of myself for training every day for something. I'm really also finally, I'm proud of myself for learning to travel on my own terms. I don't wait for others to make plans for me, because I love traveling and experiencing the world. This semester alone, I've gone to 3 new cities, and it has been a blast. I'm also in 1 class, so there's that. College and UF have been so good to me. But at the end of the day, I got out of UF what I put into it. I wanted to build my life and learn things about myself while I was in college. My freshman year, I switched my major 3 times. I applied as a biomedical engineer, and I sat in that intro to BME class, saw 3 lectures, and I realized, wow, I hate the human body. Like I said, switched my major 3 times, but I actually ended up lying to my parents for 2 years about my major because I didn't want them to know I switched a 3rd time. Especially to the major, they wanted me to be all along. Sometimes you should listen to others' advice and accept the I told you so. This year, I actually tried joining the weightlifting team. I've always wanted to learn clean and jerk and all that, and you know what? I didn't like it. I like running and I like rock climbing, but I learned something new. In one of my classes, my design failed to run during a live demo. I cried in front of the TA in my bedroom in the middle of COVID. It was awful, and I felt so alone. He was actually in Engineering Ambassadors before I joined the org, and he was my TA 3 total times. Now we are friends, and he doesn't even remember that happened. So whenever you are embarrassed about making mistakes, don't worry. No one will remember. I'm not telling you about all the times I've been rejected or trying something did not work out perfectly. I don't need to. That's the point. You get up and try again. As we end this speech and we end this day, I wanted to leave you with a little bucket list. It's a list of things I did or wish I did in college, and also I have a few bits of advice in there. All right, so number 1, go to all of the football games during one season. Fingers crossed the Gators do well during that season. Number 2, go on a long road trip with friends or strangers. 3, try a sport that has always interested you. Number 4, try to intern at 2 different companies. It can be really easy to get comfortable once you try one job. You should always try new things and experiences because it will help you figure out the best thing for you because you're figuring your life out. Always go to office hours. It can be daunting to ask a question. Practice asking questions when you know what is going on. So when you have to ask, you already have that skill. Whenever you are intimidated by someone, try saying something innocuous to them like, oh, I like your shoes. It makes it easier to remember they are also a human. I do this to Dean Taylor. He's not in the room, but every time I talk to him, I try to say something random to him, and it makes it easier to talk to him. I forgot what number we're at, but you should attend Swamp Hacks. UF's hackathon and make a cool app. I never got to do it. Every year, the Innovation Hub does an innovation sprint, where essentially you get to practice making like a startup or like a business in a single weekend. I wish I did it, and I never got to do it too. Practice hosting your own social events. It's a good skill to have so that when you actually have a job, you won't have like the safety net of college, and that's something I've been practicing this year. Try to get in a position in a student org you like your freshman year. It's a great way to make friends. So an hour south of Gainesville, there's a springs, and there's like 400 manatees there every January or February. Go check it out. The springs are my favorite part of living in Florida. Gainesville does have cool things. Go eat some good food, go to a concert, and go to coffee shops. There are so many ways to experience and build your life while you are here in college. You just have to get out there and try. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and I hope you all have wonderful lives. Go Gators!